All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to take a look at a really cool open source project called Insight Pilot. And what is it? Well, it's basically your own personal automated AI data science team.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if you had a raw data set, and instead of spending hours, maybe even days, digging through it yourself, you could just hand it off to a team of AIs? What would that even look like?
Well, that's the whole idea behind Insight Pilot. It's a system that's built to do the entire job, completely on its own. It'll inspect your data, clean it up, hunt for patterns, build models, and then write up a whole report on what it found.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with how it automates insights. Then we'll meet the AI agents on the team and see how they come up with the plan of attack. After that, we'll watch them work on autopilot, check out their final report, and then we'll wrap up by thinking about what this all means for the future.
You know, one of the biggest challenges in data science is just the sheer amount of tedious manual work. A multi-agent system like this one tries to solve that. It's kind of like creating a digital assembly line for data analysis. You put raw data in one end, and a polished report comes out the other.
So let's meet the crew, because the real power of Insight Pilot isn't some single giant AI. Nope, it's a whole team of specialists all working together.
And you can really see that structure here if you look at the project's file system. Each agent is its own little Python script. There's one for cleaning, one for EDA, one for modeling. Each one has one specific job to do and to do it well.
So let's break down these roles. The planner is like the project manager, figuring out the whole strategy. Then you've got the cleaner, who gets the data ready. The EDA agent is the detective, sniffing out the first clues. The viz agent is the artist, making everything visual. Then there's the modeling agent, who acts as the forecaster, trying to make predictions. And finally, the reporting agent pulls it all together and tells the final story.
Every good mission starts with a good plan, right? So the whole process kicks off with probably the most important agent on the team, the planner.
And boom, this is the very first thing we see in the system log. The planner agent pipes up and says it's inspecting the data set to figure out the best way to tackle it.
Now, it's not just guessing here. The planner is actually looking at the data's metadata, how many rows and columns there are, what types of data are in there, and it uses that info to build a custom-made plan.
And this is what it comes up with. The planner lays out the entire workflow, step by step. This list is literally the set of instructions for the rest of the team. The assembly line is now ready to go.
Okay, the plan is locked in, so the assembly line kicks into gear. Now we get to see each specialist agent do its thing. First on the line is the cleaning agent. Its job is to take care of all the messy, inconsistent parts of the data, which, as you know, is a super important first step if you want your analysis to be accurate.
And right on cue, the log shows the cleaning agent getting to work. It's doing things like standardizing column names and figuring out which columns are numbers and which ones are text.
So once the data is all squeaky clean, it gets handed off to the EDA agent. EDA stands for Exploratory Data Analysis, and this is where the real discovery starts to happen.
The agent tells us exactly what it's up to, computing summary stats and checking for any missing data. These are the absolute first things any human analyst would do.
And check this out. Here's the first real piece of treasure it digs up. The agent spits out this perfect summary statistics table. This gives us that first high-level look at the data, and it was generated completely automatically.
Numbers are great, but pictures can tell a story, right? So next up, the visualization agent, our team's artist, takes the stage.
Okay, now this part is really cool. The agent wasn't just told to make a random chart. It actually looked at the data, noticed there were a bunch of numerical columns, and then it decided on its own that a correlation matrix was the most valuable thing to create. Then it just went ahead, made it, and saved the file. Now let's move on to the forecaster. The modeling agent steps in to see if it can build a model that can actually make predictions based on patterns it finds in the data.
So look at this. The agent tried to train two different models, and they both failed. But wait, this isn't a bug. This is actually a feature. The AI tells us exactly why they failed. It found that the sample data was just too small or imbalanced. That failure is an incredibly valuable insight, and it's exactly what a good human analyst would report back.
All this work is great, but it's pretty useless if it isn't communicated clearly. And that's the job of the final agent on our team, the reporting agent. This agent is basically the project's scribe. It goes back and gathers up all the outputs from the previous steps. That summary table, the correlation matrix, the modeling results, even the failures, and it compiles everything into a single, neat and tidy report file. So after watching this whole automated process from start to finish, what does it all mean? Where do we go from here?
The big takeaway is this. Insight Pilot is proof that a coordinated team of AI specialists can fully automate a really complex workflow, a process that would normally take a person hours, if not days, to get through.
And that leaves us with a final, pretty fascinating question to think about. If you could build a team of AI agents to do any job for you, what's the next complex problem you'd have them solve?